5 House lawmakers have stirred up some tensions between the U.S. and China. The bipartisan group traveled to Taiwan for Thanksgiving to meet with government officials, defying Beijing's call to stay away. South Carolina Congresswoman Nancy Mace is a part of the traveling delegation and tweeted that when news broke of the group's visit to Taiwan, China's embassy demanded that they cancel the trip. NBC News correspondent Josh Letterman is traveling with the president and joins us now from Nantucket. So, Josh, talk to us about what these lawmakers are hoping to accomplish with this trip.
Well, a big part of this, Garrett, is trying to show that there is bipartisan U.S. support for Taiwan, given the escalating tensions with China and the increasing efforts by China to try to exert its own control and authority over Taiwan. We've seen these increasing Chinese military flights near Taiwan that have really alarmed U.S. national security officials. But there's also an economic component to this. We heard from Congresswoman Elissa Slotkin, who was one of the 5 members who's on that trip, saying on Twitter during the trip that the auto industry's largest supplier of microchips is right there in Taiwan. So supply chain issues, she says, will most definitely be on the agenda. She says she, too, received that message from the Chinese embassy telling her to call off the trip. So far in Taiwan, this trip has been received very warmly, with the Taiwanese president saying it's a pleasure to welcome our U.S. friends to Taiwan, thanking those representatives for their support and saying that she looked forward to productive discussions on how to further strengthen bilateral ties. But it's probably no surprise that the Chinese Foreign Ministry, they are not happy at all about this. They're warning that efforts like this could really upset U.S.-China relations, and they are urging no more lawmakers to make these kinds of voyages to Taiwan, Garrett.
Josh, this is the second major CODEL just in the last couple of weeks to Taiwan. With that, you mentioned the Chinese clearly not happy about this. Presumably, this is done with the blessing, or at least the willingness to look the other way by the Biden administration, right? I mean, what's the administration's view on these CODELs to Taiwan at this fairly sensitive time?
Well, officially, the White House and the Biden administration are not commenting on this trip, which is perhaps not totally unusual, given that the administration tries to avoid weighing in specifically on, we call them CODELs, these official trips by members of Congress to overseas locations. But I did speak with an administration official who said, look, bipartisan support for Taiwan is a big part of the Biden administration's policy. They want to see that kind of show of support and solidarity for Taiwan, particularly as democracy, independence, and sovereignty are coming under such attack. And in fact, it was just within the last couple of days that the State Department put Taiwan on its official invitation list for an upcoming summit of the democracy. So even though the White House does not want to start a new conflict with China over this, they are still abiding by the one China policy, in which the U.S. acknowledges China's position that it has control over Taiwan. They also want to make sure that they are still signaling that the U.S. will maintain a close and growing relationship, unofficial as it may be, with Taiwan.
Josh Letterman in a rainy Nantucket, thank you very much.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.